Hello, boys and girls. I am Sir Jared. Welcome to English Language for Grade 7. And how are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. Now, today we want to look at context clues. Now, you probably ask yourself, context clues? What's context clues? No need to worry. Let's dive right into it. All right? Now, what are context clues? Think about it. Context clues. Now, context clues are hints that an author gives to help define a difficult or unusual word within a book. The clue may appear within the same sentence as the word to which it refers, or it may follow in the next sentence. Because most of our vocabulary is gained through reading, because reading is fun, it is important that we are able to recognize and take advantage of context clues. Have you ever been in a situation, let's say a test, and you didn't know the meaning of a word, but knowing the meaning of this word was very important in you answering the question? Now, this is a key example where context clues come in. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you were in a test and you didn't know the meaning of a word, but knowing the meaning of this word was very important in you answering the question? Now, that's a key example where context clues can come in. So let's explore the various types of context clues. What does a context clue look like? There are at least 4 kinds of context clues that are quite common. Synonym, or a repeat context clue. An author will use more than one word that means the same thing. For example, there may be a complex word followed by a restatement using a simpler word in the same or following sentence. Philip is a miser. He's always been cheap. Philip is a miser. He's always been cheap. So, me know what miser mean. But in this case with synonym, we know synonyms talk about words that have similar meaning. A similar word is used in the following sentence to help you understand the meaning of the word miser. So you know that, you know what, Philip? He's very cheap. He's always been that way. Next, antonyms or contrast context clue. The text may include a word or words that have the opposite meaning, which can reveal the meaning of an unknown term. Stella has always been flamboyantly. I've never seen her wear a dull color. Stella has always been dressed flamboyantly. I've never seen her wear a dull color. So the second sentence contrasts the first one. So it helps you to understand when we talk about flamboyant. Flamboyant talks about something that's colorful, something that is bright. So that's how context clues can help you to understand the meaning of an unfamiliar word or unfamiliar words. Let's continue. Explanation or a definition context clue. This is where an unknown word is explained within the sentence or in the sentence immediately after. Let's look at the example. On Friday, we visited the Arboretum, a garden dedicated to the exhibition of trees and plants. So you don't know the word, but look at it. In the same sentence, a definition is given, so it helps you to understand the meaning of the unknown word or words. Are you getting it, boys and girls? Let's go. We can have the specific example or an example context clue. And this is where the text provides one or more examples used to define the term. The children were able to observe several crustaceans, including crabs, lobsters, and shrimps. So the examples now help you to understand the unfamiliar word or words. So somebody might not be able to recognize crustaceans, but when they hear about crabs, lobsters, and shrimp, they're familiar with these words. For some person, they've eaten them before. For me, no, because I'm not a seafood lover. There may also be a word part context clues in which a common prefix, suffix, or root will suggest at least part of the meaning of the word. And we know prefix, this is what is added to the beginning of a word. Suffix is added to the end, and root word, that is the base word. That is the word that we have without a prefix or a suffix. A general sense context clue lets the reader puzzle out a word meaning from whatever information is available. And this is the most common kind of context clue. The relationship between words are not directly obvious and instead imply. Let's go this again. A general sense context clue lets the reader puzzle out a word meaning from whatever information is available. And this is the most common kind of context clue. The relationship between words are not directly obvious and instead implied. Let's move on to some examples. The scorching day made me want to go to Antarctica to cool down from the heat. And right now the place is very hot. So the type of context clue we have there, synonym. And we have the definition to scorch. We understand that scorching means hot. So let's go it again. The scorching day made me want to go to Antarctica to what? Cool down from the heat. So this heat tells me that, you know what? If it's scorching, it has to be hot. Number 2. Emma had a lot of anxiety because of the test, but I had no worries. Emma had a lot of anxiety because of the test, but I had no worries. You know, some of us, so we have tests. Even me, you know, I don't like writing tests because what? We start breathing deep, we start worrying, oh God, if I fail, what's going to happen to me? Some of you say, oh God, my parents can beat me. So we have this kind of anxiety. And then we have the type of clue, antonym. And we understand that the definition to anxiety, worried. Because look at it, look at the contrast in the sentence. Emma had a lot of anxiety because of the test. Then we have the conjunction but, indicating a difference. I had no worries. So if you had no worries, we get this under anxiety talks about being worried. So we reason it out. Next, number 3. The definition or meaning to depressed is sad. The definition or meaning to depressed is sad. The type of context clue we have here would be definition. Now, definition to definition talk about what? Meaning. So that's what the word definition means. It talks about meaning. It's when I say, give me the definition of the word amphibians. They're asking you to give them the meaning of the word. Number 4. The dog was probably enraged because he bit his owner, barked loudly, chased other animals, and disobeyed his owner. The dog was probably enraged because he bit his owner, barked loudly, chased other animals, and disobeyed his owner. So the type of context clue we have here is what? Example. Definition to enrage, angry or mad. So the examples provided helps you to understand the meaning of the unfamiliar word. So he's enraged. You probably ask, enraged? Oh, that could be enraged. But then we see what? We have the examples there. What? He bit his owner, barked loudly, chased other animals, and disobeyed his owner. Do you think you're getting it? I really hope that you are. Number 5. Dissuading. Dissuading her going out to the dangerous dive did nothing. She would not stop. Type of context clue. Inference. Definition to dissuading, preventing. So they tried preventing her from going out, but what? That didn't do anything. She continued. You know, like some of us, people can try to persuade us not to do something, but we still go ahead and do it. Yes. Now let's go into an activity. Are you ready? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Relax. Now let's get into it. Read each sentence and determine the meaning of the word using cross-sentence clues or your prior knowledge. Then explain what clues in the sentence helped you determine the word meaning. Let's go to directions again. And it's very important whenever you have any activity or anything to read the instructions, because that's what will guide you in knowing what to do. Read each sentence and determine the meaning of the word using cross-sentence clues or your prior knowledge. Then explain what clues in the sentence help you determine the word meaning. Number 1, dignity. Even when the police officers put the handcuffs on my mother, she maintained her dignity. Can you imagine that? Holding her head up high as she was marched off the protest site. Let's go it again. Even when the police officers put the handcuffs on my mother, she maintained her dignity, holding her head up high as she was marched off the protest site. Definition. So I want you to think of how would you define the word dignity? Look at the entire sentence that we have there, and from it, what context clue can you use to help you define the word? And then the question is asking what clues in the sentence led you to the definition, led you to your definition. Think about it. Let's look at the answers now. Are you ready? Dignity. It talks about being worthy of respect. What does it talk about being? Worthy of respect. And what led you to the answer? She holds her head up high despite being in a compromising position. You know, think about it. Some people, you know, when people get them angry, they can manage to, you know, maintain their composure. Versus there are some people who can't do that. They just have to lash out and behave any kind of way. So using what is presented in the sentence will lead you to your answer. And for some of you, you probably have a similar definition, but something else in the sentence led you to it, and that is fine. Let's do number 2. The rays from the rising sun shine splendidly through our kitchen window. Let's go it again. The rays from the shining sun shine splendidly through our kitchen window. Are we going to do the same thing? The definition and what clues in the sentence led you to your definition. Go ahead. It's answer time. Are you ready? Splendid. Very bright, magnificent. Very bright, magnificent. And what led you? Rays of sunshine are bright. Rays of sunshine are bright. I hope that you have that. Do you want to do another one? Yes, I have another one. Number 3. John was so hungry that he didn't leave a single particle of the muffin on the plate. It's like what we would say in our Creole, he cleaned up everything. John was so hungry that he didn't leave a single particle of the muffin on the plate. Same thing again, definition. What clues in the sentence led you to your definition? Time on the clock. It's answer time. Particle talks about a very small piece. What does it talk about? A very small piece. What led you to your answer? A hungry person eats everything on the plate. Won't you agree? A hungry person eats everything, even chew up their bone. All right. I have another one for you. Number 4. Cassie took her time when she wrote in cursive, slowly making each word out of an elegant series of arcs and loops. Cassie took her time when she wrote in cursive, slowly making each word out of an elegant series of arcs and loops. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't write in cursive. Or maybe I can, but to me it's scrawly. But for some people, they have a specific way and it looks so neat. So same thing you're going to do, definition, and what led you to your definition. Time on the clock again. It's answer time. Let's go. Elegant, beautiful and graceful. Beautiful and graceful. Since she is taking her time, she will have great penmanship. Since she is taking her time, she will have great penmanship. And the final one. Kevin thought that it was a great injustice that girls could wear earrings in the school while the boys could not. Let's go it again. Kevin thought that it was a great injustice that girls could wear earrings in the school while the boys could not. Same thing we're doing. Definition and what clues in the sentence led you to your definition. It's answer time. Injustice. Something that is not right or fair. Something that is not right or fair. It seems unfair that the privilege of wearing jewelry is assigned based on gender. It seems unfair that the privilege of jewelry is assigned based on gender. And I know some of you probably saying, yes, I agree. Now, let's look at the benefits from context clues. Because there's a reason we use them. They are important. During a test, dictionaries are not allowed to be used. Using context clues to discover the definition will help a lot. Also, when talking to other people in the future, you will hear a hard word or an unfamiliar word. It will be easier to understand them if you know what they were talking about. Then you can infer the word's definition. So you can even use context clues when someone is speaking. So, oh, they use an unfamiliar word. Let me listen to what they're saying. What comes after this word? And if you can remember what comes before, and that can lead you to understand the meaning of that word or words. Now, once again, I just want to thank you for participating in class today. I want you to go out and practice using context clues in the various areas of your life. This is Sir Jared. Until we meet again, I'm out.